When it comes to Seth the Programmer situation, it's basically, for me at least, a wake up call for everyone to understand you can't at all trust people on YouTube. So I think naturally, when you become a content creator, either if you're doing it for fun or you're doing it professionally as a job, naturally, I believe it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we build a certain character on ourselves when we become a YouTuber, and sometimes we don't know it. And the way I look at it is that when you grow an audience, right, it's also your job to respectfully treat them fair, lovingly, and be very thankful for them, especially if you're doing it for a job. They helped you create a career and a fan base that trusts you and you trust them. Clearly, someone like Seth, he broke that trust not just with his audience, but his fellow YouTuber friends, like Hoggy and Clyde. Um, the way I look at it is that naturally, when we create a new persona for ourselves when we are making videos, sometimes we don't know it. And the point of going to a live stream for a YouTuber who's going on live, that's your opportunity to get to know them, ask them questions about other things outside of anime. You know, what kind of movies or shows or what do you do outside of YouTube? You know, normal casual questions to really know who they are. And sometimes it's great to find a YouTuber who's actually comfortable talking about personal stuff to relate to their audience. That, oh, you're just not a guy who makes anime content. You're also someone who actually can relate to the audience of what they're going through or what you're going through. And it creates a great trust between a community and a YouTuber, stuff to connect with, right? And the point of going to a live stream is to know more about that YouTuber you love, to see what they really are like, past being an anime YouTuber or whatever, in any kind of community on YouTube. So the way I look at it is that Seth eventually broke that trust, and whatever you thought or liked about him, it's been an illusion completely. Now, then that being said, like I said, everyone in a way is building a character on YouTube. That's not who they are in real life. That is like a little bit of the illusion. But that being said, not every person is like this. Some people are literally the same way in real life as a YouTuber, you know. But when you meet people online at a convention or whatever, and if they don't seem like they're the same person or character in real life versus who they are on YouTube, you can instantly tell there is a slight difference, that maybe you're a jerk in real life, but as a YouTuber, you're nice and kind. And it's good to find someone on the internet, if you ever do go to a convention to meet your favorite YouTuber or whatever, how you meet them, if they both seem like the exact same person, both online and in person, then you generally found a great human being, right? Because there's tons of people who are happy to meet their favorite YouTubers that are nice and kind, just how they are on the internet. But sometimes beyond the internet, behind the scenes, like in Clyde's video, Seth is not who he is when the camera's turned off, or actually, better phrasing, when the audio is turned off when he's not recording, because he doesn't show his face on the internet. The better wording is when he doesn't make content anymore, he's not recording anymore. Who Seth is outside of YouTube is a completely different person. That being said, everyone does in a way have different personas wherever they go. And the best analysis I can give is when if you're graduated already, or if you're in high school at the moment, student and teachers, they all play a character when they go into the exact same building for the last 7 to 8 hours, right? Teachers aren't stupid. They know the moment their students walk out from that door when the bell rings, they are completely different. If every teacher truly believed their students were as angels, as kind as they are outside of schooling, that would be insane. But no, teachers know what it's like to be a teenager. They know the moment they leave from that school, the school ground, or the moment they leave that door after the bell rings and school's out, they get into trouble or they do stupid shit, whatever. And same thing goes for teachers. If you think every teacher you've ever had was nice and kind when they are on the clock versus who they are outside, no, completely different. Teachers have to be polite and nice and kind to their students, and students have to be nice and kind to their teachers, because when you're in the same building, you have to like treat each other a certain way. But once the job is over, you do whatever you want. You have the opportunity to be who you really are. You can let out your emotions, or you can rant about whatever. You know, everyone has that little bubble of a fake identity when you're around certain people. And when you're not around that people or that community anymore, you have the opportunity to be who you are and release whatever emotions you are. And that being said, is what I'm saying is that when you're a YouTuber and when you're talking to someone on the camera or you're talking or you're recording, because some people don't show their face on YouTube, they just record shit and they release it. To them and you, that's like the persona and the character as a YouTuber, right? And the moment the videos are off, you may be wondering, who are they in real life? How do they treat people? And that's the thing I'm trying to get at, is that some people are not the same identity in real life and as a content creator. You can be a jerk in real life and you could be a nice guy on YouTube. You need to find the right kind of YouTuber who is actually the exact same person in real life that generally does treat their audience great on YouTube and people in real life. And clearly Seth, when he's not in that character anymore, he's a jerk, he controls people, and he's someone that takes advantage of people. And this video I'm giving you is me giving more of awareness that you have to not always let your guard down when you know a little bit more about a YouTuber, no matter what or how genuinely they sound on the internet or how nice and kind they sound during their live streams, you still don't know them. And when a YouTuber says that, like Geekdom, who said in his recent video that we don't know each other, like you don't know me, I don't know you. You build a trust to a YouTuber because you get to know them more during their live streams or talk to them and you feel more comfortable with them. That being said, just because you relate to them on personal stuff and they can give you great advice, that's not the same as actually knowing them in real life and you know the person for like 5 years. You know, knowing someone from the internet for 5 years versus knowing someone for 5 years in real life, completely different. It's not the same. And when we transform ourselves into this certain individual online, we become a YouTuber. We don't really always know it. We don't know that we're actually becoming someone different behind the scenes, because when you're doing YouTube for a job or whatever, you naturally turn yourself into something you're not really understanding. It's like, wow, I'm really nice and kind to my audience, but I'm not actually like that in real life. And sometimes you don't catch it. And sometimes when you do catch it, maybe you want to work on yourself. It's like, why should I treat my audience nicer and not real people in my own personal life? You know, it's good to know these things because once you become a little bit higher up on YouTube, you don't really know the difference of the two characters you're playing versus you in real life and you as a YouTuber. And Seth obviously broke that trust, betrayed everyone, and really did some things very disgustingly behind the scenes as well. So who he is on the camera, keep saying that, who he is on YouTube versus what he does in real life obviously is not the same person that you see on YouTube. Seth the Programmer is not who he is behind the scenes. Him debating and power scaling, that's just the character on YouTube. If Seth was this genuinely nice, calm dude, how he presents himself when he does these power scaling videos or however you used to look at him, if he was like that in real life, you guys would be okay. Because I've seen a lot of people say Seth was really cool and laid back and he was awesome. I've seen a lot of people give him a lot of credit, and after realizing what he's done, he's not that same person of what you believed. And that's the problem. He was never the same person between YouTube and in real life. And for someone like Clyde, who's been through a lot of shit and said he almost went homeless because of what Steph did and his mental health declining and everything, yeah, look at if you saw the video of what Clyde was talking about, it really is emotional and very human. And when a human being opens up about their dark past behind the scenes of being a content creator, sometimes you forget YouTubers are people. It's like when you see videos of celebrities crying their emotions out. I've seen people say, wow, I keep forgetting that celebrities are people too. We keep forgetting that content creators and celebrities or whatever, they are people. They have emotions and they do go through shit that we don't know. But when you build an audience and when you have a trust and when you break that trust, you hurt a lot of fucking people in the world. Now then, big or small on YouTube, everyone has a responsibility to know their audience, communicate with their audience. You don't have to be their close or best friend, but you have to have some kind of trust to know that they can trust you, that you're not an asshole, and your audience, you have a trust with your audience that they can feel comfortable to talk about anything they want with you, like updates about your channel, your criticisms or your opinions about a certain topic. And I've been very open with my own small audience on the channel that thank you for your feedback and everything. You guys have the right to disagree or agree with me. Everything is completely fine. And I built a trust on my little small audience to know that criticism is always allowed on the channel. You know, a lot of people have not agreed with my personal opinions, but unlike Seth, I don't feel it in me to call people out and be a jerk to someone over a small opinion about anything. You know, if you disagree with me, you disagree with me. And it's one thing to just feel a little bit moody about it, but some of the stuff I've seen on Seth's live streams, small YouTube clips, him just calling out his audience for just disagreeing on power scaling or anything, just disagreeing with him in general. It's like the amount of anger and frustration that he gets when people don't agree with him is very just, it's unnatural. It's like you should not get that pissed off and that overwhelmed over disagreements. It's not great to overreact that much to the point where it feels like you are a jerk, that you can't accept criticism and you can't accept judgment, right? So at the end of this video, I just want to say, when you build an audience, make sure they trust you and you trust them. And whatever you do, if you do break that trust, work your way up to get that trust back. But if you've done something what Seth done, it's really hard to see yourself have a redemption after that. A lot of YouTubers mess up all the time and they work their way up to become better. But what we've seen, the fact that Seth went on to the Keemstar live stream and pretty much confessed everything, like that's very rare for a guy to go on a live stream or anything and just give you the facts and basically like admitted, yeah, I did these things. That's very rare. I don't know if I should give credit to Seth to not holding anything back, or it was just very beyond creepy that he was casually okay and comfortable to talk about all the problems that people had with him, acting like it wasn't a big deal. Like the 4-year-old joke. It's like what's the joke out of that when he talked about the 4-year? It's like, what's the laugh out of it? What's the point? And he brought it up in the live stream so casual, like it was not a big deal, and it was completely okay to talk about the subject. And it was very bizarre that he didn't seem like he had any hesitation to talk about something like that, which kind of tells me he doesn't have a heart and he doesn't care, but he hurt people. So Akagi really thought he was his best friend or one of his closest friends, Clyde as well. And when you see that trust break and fall, it's really hard, man. It's really hard. I've never been in a situation. I haven't made a lot of friends on YouTube. I made a few, but not like a lot. And every person I've interacted on YouTube, I've had good ties with. But I can't imagine working with someone for like nearly a decade and then just feeling like they never liked you or cared about you, regardless of the support and the deep topics they had with you, both in real life and on YouTube, that he was truly just a mess of a person. He did not care. He did not really feel thankful. And it's sickening, you know? Like I said, like it's not a completely bad thing that we have two sides of ourselves on YouTube and in real life. Sometimes it happens naturally and we don't catch ourselves. And if you do catch yourself, it's either your responsibility to try to treat everyone the same way, both in real life and on YouTube, or you allow yourself to treat your audience on YouTube politely, but you treat people in real life very shitty. That is something you have to work on. Interactions I've had on YouTube have been very great with other smaller creators. I don't think I've ever had a problem with anyone, but if I ever have, it's definitely something to ever work out, because if you ever do have something wrong with a content creator, just open up, talk to them professionally, and things can work out just fine. But never hold anything completely in. Like if you generally have a problem with someone, just tell them how you feel and work shit out. But if that person doesn't want to take responsibility to understand your perspective as a human being to another, that you had these flaws with me, and he or she does not want to work with you on those flaws, how to build a better relationship, then clearly that person is not worth your time. Because if you care about a friendship, if someone doesn't want to work better to make that friendship stronger, then clearly they don't care about it nearly as much as you. You know, it's not fair for you to try to fix someone when they can't fix themselves, and if they especially don't even want to fix themselves, you know. But regardless of anything, guys, YouTube is for fun. Trust your audience and trust the YouTuber, but once that trust has been broken, it's very hard. But at the same time, when you like a YouTuber, if you get to know them, remember still, even if you agree on personal stuff and real life politics or whatever you talk to your favorite YouTuber when they go in live, remember, you can get to know them a little bit, but you still don't know them in real life at all. And when people say you don't know me in real life, that is not a bad thing of saying I'm secretly a bad person outside of YouTube. No, when people say you don't know us in real life, that does not mean that we're suspicious. It just means that you may not like me besides outside of YouTube. What if we have other disagreements of everything else? Like you may like me at one specific topic on YouTube, but everything else you may disagree with me on. You may not like me about what I talk about other things, you know? Like when you build an audience about anime, what if you don't like anything else they talk about regardless of anything else outside of anime? And it's not that they're a bad person, you just don't agree or like what they talk about of anything else besides that one topic they do on the internet. You don't really know them, you don't know the backstory, you don't know what they've been through. And when someone opens up about their dark past, you automatically think they're a bad person, but no, it's like they've done shit they're not proud of, but they work their way up to become a better person and to improve themselves as a better human being. That's the way that I look at it. Is that just do your best on YouTube, big or small on YouTube. It does not matter. Just try your best to treat everyone respectfully and just lovingly as well. Especially someone who's been with you for so long. It's just really hard to see friendships break like this. It's hard to see how things have went down like this for the anime community and for Klein and Swakage and everyone else, Chuck Noodles, everyone who's ever like been involved in this drama at the moment, who's personally known Seth. They are the ones who have the right to complain and feel more grief and hurt about anything else rather than us, the audience, because we don't know these YouTubers. These YouTubers knew themselves better behind the scenes. We're just the audience. We take what we see, we make our opinions about. But these guys clearly had deep conversations. They got to know each other more than just fellow YouTubers who talked about Naruto or whatever on YouTube. They talked about personal stuff that helps to bond the friendship stronger, besides just being a content creator to another and let's collab. And they trust each other, and this trust has been broken by Seth, and he hurt a lot of fucking people. And it's really hard to see him ever coming back. I've seen it many times when YouTubers mess up. They always have that one side of their fan base that will support them no matter what they do, no matter what. And Seth is still probably going to come back, and people are going to move on, but he's not going to leave YouTube. But those are my thoughts. I'm Delix. Hope you guys got something out of this video. I really took my time to make it as human as I possibly could. But you guys have a good day, and bye.